Shake up in the running back rankings right now on FFT Express. Welcome to the show, everybody. We're talking about the running backs after the NFL draft and which ones have risen, which ones have fallen. Dave, who's a big rankings mover for you and in which direction? I bet I can guess the direction if you tell me the name.
I'll give you the name, Chase Brown.
Oh, he's down to the 10th round. You hate Chase Brown.
Nope, he's up to the 10th overall running back in my PPR running back rankings. The fact that Cincinnati only added Taj Brooks, and I know that Samaje Perine was brought back to the team. They still have Zach Moss. Okay, they've got guys that can help Chase Brown out, but I still believe that Chase Brown is going to be far and away the best running back in Cincinnati. That's an awesome offense. We saw what Chase Brown was capable of doing last year when he had a ton of work. Now I expect him to get it again. I think he's an easy second-round pick. In the mock draft we just did after the draft, I got Chase Brown in round 3. I don't ask questions, Adam. I'm just happy to draft him in round 3. But yes, top 10 running back moving forward, Chase Brown.
Who's the handcuff for Chase Brown, you think?
I don't care. I don't think there's going to be one that's going to be even remotely as good as Chase Brown. So that makes him even better because now you don't have to think about, well, do I want to safeguard the investment? Like you're going to think about that with somebody like Christian McCaffrey. You don't have to think about it with Chase Brown.
Speaking of which, is Christian McCaffrey a running back riser? Just had nothing to do with the draft, but just his health.
The fact that he's saying he's healthy, I think that might make people encouraged to take him with a late round 1 pick. And because we believe that Isaac Guerendo is the clear backup running back who we've seen do good things in San Francisco, that as long as you make a point to draft Guerendo with McCaffrey, I don't have that big of a problem with it. Of course, if you just draft Guerendo in general and McCaffrey gets hurt in the first month of the season, congratulations, you've got yourself a stud running back in Guerendo.
Okay. Any other big rankings risers after the draft?
As far as like moving up considerably, I'm going to give you a rookie that moved up a lot because I didn't expect him to land in such a great situation. But RJ Harvey going to the Denver Broncos, and that's an offense that did not add a lot at running back. They lost a player running back, Javonte Williams. They let him go in free agency. And Sean Payton talks about RJ Harvey as being, this amazing 3-down versatile type of running back. I don't see Jaleel McLaughlin or Audric Estime or Blake Watson coming in and taking a lot of work off of him. I think Harvey will be given every opportunity to work all 3 downs behind that big offensive line. The more I talk about him, the more I think I've got him ranked too low as a round 5 pick, as a top 24 fantasy wide receiver in PPR, ahead of other rookies like Quinshon Judkins and Caleb Johnson. But I think he's got the talent to do it and certainly the opportunity to do it. And that always matters the most in fantasy football, Adam. Opportunity. And he's got it in Denver.
Okay. Let's see. So I wanted to bring up Brian Robinson Jr., who I saw him in the draft that we just did yesterday. I said, oh, you know what? That's pretty good value. He went very late. I think round 9 or something like that for Brian Robinson Jr. I'll tell you in a second. But this was a team that was supposed to bring in late round 8, second to last pick of round 8. Washington was one of these teams rumored to be in on a running back. Didn't really address the position. So I'll tell you, Brian Robinson Jr., he was in full PPR. He was RB 30 per game. In non-PPR, RB 21 per game. But he did leave 2 games early with injuries, and that really tanked his numbers. He would have actually been a top 24 running back per game if you remove the 2 games he left with injuries in both formats or all formats. So, to get him with the second to last pick of round 8, I think is really good value for Robinson. Nothing's really changed for him.
It's fantastic value for him. I think he's worth taking in that round 7, 8 range, late round 7, early round 8. But wherever you get B-Rob, you're dancing on the razor's edge because he doesn't catch a lot of passes. He's touchdown dependent. He had 10 of them last year. Does he get 10 touchdowns again this year? Maybe in that Washington offense, if he stays healthy for 17 games, it's a possibility. You mentioned that he's much better in non-PPR than full PPR. Just 3 games last year, Adam, with 15 or more PPR points. But he had 7 with 13 or more PPR points. So as long as your expectation for him is number 3 fantasy running back, who in a pinch could be a number 2, then sure, you can add him to your team and you now know the range. Right around 85th overall is the time to go and get Brian Robinson, but don't overvalue him because he's the lead back in Washington We know that he's going to lose work to Eckler. We know he's going to lose work to Jaden Daniels. These things are going to be factors that just weigh down his numbers over the course of the season.
Yeah, but you are banking on the touchdowns, and he scored 8 touchdowns. I have him at 8. You said 10. I have him at 8 touchdowns last year for Brian Robinson. 10. He had 2 in the playoffs. I think that's 2 against the Lions in the playoffs. But he left 2 games early with an injury. So a quick break here, and we'll talk about some rankings fallers after this on FFT Express. All right, who are some of the big rankings fallers for you? Probably some obvious names, but who you got?
Yeah, so let's name some obvious names. Jaylen Warren in Pittsburgh, Ramondre Stevenson in New England, Najee Harris with the Chargers. Got to get used to saying that. Those 3 running backs obviously got some significant competition in the draft. Warren got Caleb Johnson. Johnson's going to play the Najee role, the running downs role, potentially the workhorse role, and that's going to mean Jaylen Warren's going to be stuck with passing downs more than anything else. Ramondre Stevenson, part of the old regime in New England. Does the new regime view him the same way? I think he's got to go to training camp and prove that he deserves to be the lead back for New England. But TreVeyon Henderson's going to do the exact same thing. I think it's obvious to draft TreVeyon Henderson ahead of Ramondre Stevenson. But Stevenson's somebody in that same type of range as Brian Robinson that you can go and draft and hope that he has a significant role and maybe works in short yardage. Najee Harris kind of has the same skill set as Omarion Hampton without the efficiency, without the explosiveness. And he's a good running back, might begin the year seeing just as much playing time as Omarion Hampton. But I think Jim Harbaugh was on a mission to really revamp that running back room. And once upon a time, Harbaugh recruited Hampton to Michigan. And Hampton said this. Harbaugh mentioned to Hampton, well, now I finally got you in LA. And now I finally got you to lead my running back room. And I don't think it'll take very long for Omarion.
Whoa. Did he say he didn't say that second part? Now
he didn't say that second part.
That was you.
But he definitely said the first part about now I finally got you on the team. What does the contract say for Najee Harris? It's a 1-year deal for him.
Yeah.
So I think just by virtue of that, the long-term direction of what the Chargers want to do at running back. They gave Najee Harris a prove-it deal, whereas Omarion Hampton's going to get a 4-year deal for being a rookie on that team. Everybody's drafting Omarion Hampton way ahead of Najee Harris. If you want to draft Harris in that same 85th overall range, maybe the 0 RB drafters will do that and hope that Najee can find the end zone in September, and then they figure out their running back plans after that, because I do expect Omarion Hampton to take over.
Well, if you want to see where the rookies went in our most recent mock draft, the first one we did after the NFL draft, you can check out the full-length show. And you can go to youtube.com/fantasyfootballtoday and watch Wednesday's episode. You'll see the draft board there as things unfold. Also, there's written content. You want to see where all these guys went in the draft that we just did. CBSsports.com/fantasy. Don't know when you're going to listen to this. It may not be published, but by the end of the day, Wednesday, it will be.
Adam, can I give one last low-key winner/riser?
Pacheco.
No. Way deeper. This is late round. Roschon Johnson in Chicago. Bears didn't add anybody. We're talking about DeAndre Swift as a big riser because he's got a clear path to being the lead back there. Well, he's not going to get every touch. We know that Ben Johnson wants to use 2 running backs. For now, Roschon Johnson is the second running back and the more physical running back. So I think he's worth a late round pick as of now.
All right, Dave Richard, thank you very much. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Fantasy Football Today Express.